Buddies, can you believe it? I've been tag shamed into doing the Vinyl Tag 2023 video. Hey, it's Concert Buddy coming up after the break. I'm going to do what all the cool kids are doing, Vinyl Tag 2023. Let's go! Well, here we are, buddies. I'm doing something that, as of 10 days ago, I probably wasn't going to do, and that's the Vinyl Tag 2023 edition. Now, to be clear, I'm not anti-Vinyl Tag. In fact, I think it's terrific. I was just going to sit this one out because I've got so many irons in the fire right now, which more to come there, but just a lot going on. And I'm still a little hurt in the buttocks region on the whole contest thing. Yes, we're talking about contests. Contests?
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Regardless, I was tag shamed recently on the Rachel stream, and I'm not going to say who, Snazzy, tag shamed me. And you know what? He was right. Because if you saw my last video, Vinyl Resolutions 2023, so I was putting that together and put on my thinking cap, and I came up with those resolutions, one of which was to lean into the community aspect of the vinyl community. And honestly, full credit to Rob Walker, who started this year's tag. I'll leave his channel info below. But honestly, what better way to be part of the community than participate in probably the biggest community push of the year, which is the Vinyl Tag series of videos. So, it ain't perfect. It ain't going to be pretty. Spoiler alert. But this is what I got for Vinyl Tag 2023. Let's go.
I could have used a little more cowbell.
All right, favorite new release 2022. If you've seen my recent videos, I just did this in my year-end video. This record actually came out 2021, but the vinyl didn't come to me until 2022. Suzanne Santo, Yard Sale, phenomenal singer-songwriter out of the Austin, Texas area. Highly recommend her catalog and or this record. Stream it first, folks, before you buy it. It's terrific. All right, last concert I went to was Pearl Jam in September of last year, now 2022. Had a great VC meetup with several folks. Brandon went with me. Mr. Hall of Fame went with me to the show. Ran into Cosmic Brian and Zep Pearl Vance. He was in town from Chicago for the show. And even Travis Foley, who doesn't make videos but is a contributor in the vinyl community in his own way. He was also at the show too. So Pearl Jam, last concert I went to. All right, next question. Their first album was their best album. Well, undoubtedly to me, 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Tryin' was the best output he has had. Heavily laced with Dr. Dre production. His fingerprints are all on it. Signed, obviously, to his label. I think it was on Aftermath. Oh, actually, it's on Shady. So Shady was a spinoff of Aftermath, which was a spinoff of Interscope, which yada yada. So you had Eminem on this. Dr. Dre, obviously, in the club, all over the production. So it's hard to say that he followed this up with anything better than this. What a debut album. 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Tryin'. All right, the fourth question is a hat trick of a CD, cassette, and vinyl. I'm going to show my age. I don't have any cassettes. I have a couple just kind of tchotchke ones, but I don't have the full arsenal, so I can't participate in this one. I'm sorry. Cue the womp womp noise. But I do have some CDs. I have, like I said, a couple cassettes, but I don't have the hat trick. So I'm going to go into the penalty box about the Vinyl Tag on this one. Sorry.
Not too much, though. I'm telling you, fellas. You're going to want that cowbell.
Album that starts and ends with the same letter. I pulled the Offspring Americana, A to A. First pressing. One of my favorite bands from the 90s. What's up? Boom. All right. Show an artist. Born the same year you were. I was born 1979. And so is this young lady, Pink. One of the survivors of the pop wars of the late 90s, early 2000s. I think she's still around and kicking. I love this green, lime green, mint green, whatever green you want to call it, treatment on this record I picked up at Josie in Dallas last year. All right, most listened to album last year. I was really excited when the Chili's got back together with John Frusciante on lead guitar. And they actually put out 2 albums. Spoiler alert for the next question. But this, the first album of those 2 releases came out in the spring. That was Unlimited Love. I played the shit out of that song Black Summer because I really enjoyed it. I didn't like it at first. First time I heard it, I was kind of like, somebody farted in the room.
Human beings are the magical fruits.
A couple more listens, and I think even on vacation earlier in the spring on the beach, I just played the hell out of this album. So Unlimited Love, played the shit ton out of this guy. Then the follow-up question was, again, spoiler alert, sorry folks, most listened to artist in 2022. When you put out 2 double albums that were both of equal size and scope, Chili Peppers, this was the second one, this one came out in the fall, Return of the Dream Canteen, plus they did like 50 different variants between the 2, color variants, team color variants, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I listened to probably the Chili Peppers more than anybody else as I was trying to really indoctrinate myself in this new music. Overall, it's really good, classic Chili sound for Frusciante and band really kind of kicking on all cylinders. Is it the best of their catalog? Probably not, but it's not. I would definitely say it's a great contribution to their catalog. All right, so the next question was to list or show an Australian band. Honestly, I'm not going to be played out and do Men at Work. It's too easy. But I don't have any vinyl because vinyl was never made for this artist. This band called Juke Cartel. Lead singer Toby Rand was actually on a game show. Go back to the reality show craze, which I guess is now common 20-something years later. 2004-05 time frame, they did this reality show by Mark Burnett, who did Survivor and Chef's Kitchen and all that stuff. And it was called Rockstar. And this was Rockstar NXS. And they were trying to find a new singer to lead the band NXS after Michael Hutchence had passed away, suicide. And so they had obviously a lot of different singers auditioning, and Toby was auditioning. Didn't make it, but through that show I got to learn of him and his story and of his band, Juke Cartel, which I really enjoy their stuff. I really, really wish, fingers crossed, probably not going to happen, that some of their stuff would come out on vinyl, because the only place you can get it, back then you could get CD, but when I got rid of my CD collection, peace. So it's really a streamer only at this point. And I know I follow the band on Facebook, and I've kind of asked the question a time or two, will you ever see your stuff on vinyl? And I always get, we hope so. So I don't know. Again, it's probably one of those things where they don't control their masters and yada yada. But anyway, Juke Cartel, probably my favorite band from Australia.
I gotta have more cowbell, baby.
Next up, a record people would be surprised you purchased in 2022. Well, probably people would be surprised I got this Alison Krauss Too Late to Cry record. Still in shrink, great condition. This was actually kind of like a surprise pickup. I went to an estate sale, which usually isn't my move, but long story short, there was an audiophile estate sale that had kind of crazy, great gear, equipment, records, etc. I went, I got there, gosh, I thought early, but really I was like 60th or something in line. Long story short, I got a couple of decent records, and this one was in the $5 bin, but it's like a consistently $40 or $50 album. I know obviously of Alison Krauss from her work with Union Station, and then her work with Robert Plant, most notably Raising Sand, a phenomenal Chef's Kiss album. But I will choose this record for my entry as the most surprising record I picked up. All right, so I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat just a touch. So if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. For the next two questions, I'm going to use the same records. The first question, or the first show, is a great run of 3 albums. And the second question is, or I'm sorry, I guess this is the first. I got them out of order. See, I'm not good at this. An artist or band you're complete on. So the one that hit the nail on the head was Audio Slave, which was the group comprised of essentially Rage Against the Machine, swapping out Zach De La Rocha on vocals with Chris Cornell, formerly of Soundgarden, on vocals. And actually I pulled that record up prematurely. But I do have their complete discography, which was their self-titled debut. These are all first pressings. Boom, boom. And then they followed this one up with Out of Exile. Boom, boom. First pressing. It's on blue vinyl. You can't see it, sorry. And then the last one of their catalog was Revelations. which is on this kind of like Coke bottle. I don't know if we'll pick up. It's pretty bright in here. But anyway, so that is a band I'm complete on because it's only 3 album output, and it was their best 3 albums. An 80s soundtrack. That's one of my favorites. This is one that's, I guess, considered a grail. It was a grail for me until recently I got it. You saw my year-end videos. I featured this one, picked up the original Nightmare on Elm Street soundtrack. Super pumped to add this to the collection. I've been hunting this for a long time. It's not cheap, not expensive, but I got a great deal from Amoeba on Cyber Monday on it. And it's one of those Verizi Sarambande titles. But anyway, here's my soundtrack entry. Yeah, list an artist we lost in 2022. I'm going to use the one, the only, Pharoah Sanders and his seminal hit Karma. I just picked this one up again, featured it in my year-end videos. I'm happy to score this. I know Acoustic Sounds, Analog Productions just put one out, but going OG baby on this one. Okay, I'm going controversial here, buddies. The next ask or show is my disappointing purchase in 2022. And if you've seen my previous videos, I got an original. This is a grail for me. Dr. Dre Chronic. This is the first release, the OG of this album from Priority. And you're saying, well, it's a grail. Why are you disappointed? This was mastered by Bernie Grudman. Had all the recipes for something in my mind I was fixated on. This is going to blow any other copy I've ever heard away. I do have like a reissue that was digitally remastered, but I found this at the Austin Record Show in shrink, as you can see. Still happy I added it to my collection, and it sounds pretty good. I think in my mind, though, since I've been wanting this for so long, it's kind of like a good meal. You just kind of hype it up, and you just put it on this mountaintop that then when you get it, it kind of, I wouldn't say falls short, but it's underwhelming is not even the right word. It's just not what you had built it up to be. So it's still a great album, still sounds really good. I just expected it literally to blow the hat off my head, and I think I set some unrealistic expectations on that, but still, nonetheless, happy I put this one up in 2022.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
So the next part of the vinyl tag is a non-vinyl purchase CD or book. So I wasn't sure if that meant non-music, variete. The last book I read cover to cover was the old Record Store Day, kind of running diary of how they started Record Store Day, what led to its creation and implementation in the first couple of years. I'm actually, if you're watching this video, you're in luck. If you want to read this book, this is a paperback. I got the hardback just because I'm a hardback guy too, completist, even in book world. So I'd love to give this copy away to a viewer if you're interested in it, and if you're in the U.S., just drop me a note either in the comments or we can talk. Go to my Instagram page at Concert Buddy. Send me a DM there. I'd be happy to send this to you free of charge. Shipping's on me. Keep the book, give it away, use it as a coaster, whatever you want to do with it. But I'd love to pass this on to a viewer as a sign of thank you, support, and as a mea culpa for not jumping on vinyl tag sooner. Grail in 2022. You guys are probably getting sick of me showing this record, but I think I've used this for 3 videos now, and I'll probably continue to show it because I was so happy. This, for the longest time, was the oldest Grail on my list. Love Supreme, John Coltrane, first pressing stereo, 1965 on that beautiful Impulse label. I couldn't believe I found this one in the wild at Chicago Hillside Show. Blew my mind because I'd never seen one in this cherry condition in person before. Couldn't purchase it fast enough. Negotiated with the guy. We worked out a sweet deal. So a Grail I found in 2022. Boom. All right, the next one is a space-themed album or album cover. I'm going to go with these 2 reissues that came out, The Angels and Airways. This is their first album, I believe, I, Empire, and then they followed it up with We Don't Need to Whisper. If you know anything about this band, you know that it's a side project from Blink-182's Tom DeLonge, who just so coincidentally is kind of a UFO expert or UFO theorist. And before I would have said conspiracy theorist, but it actually, some of his theories kind of bore out, I think it was a year or 2 ago, when the U.S. government showed some footage of some unidentified flying objects that they couldn't explain. It had it on tape, and it kind of corroborated a lot of the stuff that old Tom had been talking about for years. So, in respect, paying homage to Tom being correct all these years and all of us being wrong, showing these 2 records in Vinyl Tag 2023. Next up, show some VCLT from last year. Two of the best in the business. Steve Carlson sent me this Rockpile record in shrink, Like I Like, with the hype. My man knows my taste. And then Brandon, again, Mr. Hall of Fame. He probably should get a nickel every time I mention him in these videos. He'd probably be able to buy a grill at this point. But he was kind enough to gift on this Bob Marley and the Wailers, Babylon by Bus. This is the Abbey Road reissue from a couple years ago. But it was great. Anytime I get VCLT, I cherish it. I keep it. I would never pass it on. So I thank you both again. I did a video thanking you, but I'm going to thank you again here. It really means a lot. And hopefully I'll be VCLTing more people from me to you in 2023.
Okay, first, I'm not crazy, and second, say it. Don't spray it.
Buddies, I did it. I'm at the end of my list. I'm gonna be taboo. I'm gonna show this record in the plastic, so I apologize. I know that chafed some people's butt hairs, but I'm gonna show. It says show an album released in 1973, which is 50 years ago. Can you believe it? 50 years ago. I wasn't even born yet. It's so old. But I'm going to go with David Bowie, Aladdin Sane. I saw earlier today as I'm filming this that they're doing like a 50th anniversary release package. One of them had a picture disc or something, which doesn't do it for me. But my son absolutely adores David Bowie. It's like one of his favorite artists, if not his most favorite artist. So I would be doing him a disservice and doing this vinyl tag a disservice if I didn't show this record today. That's it. I did it. I got off my high horse. I found some time. I realized the error of my ways when the one and only Snazzy or Dizzy or Spazzy or whatever name the one and only Norman Maslow is going by. He tag shamed me on the live stream, the Rachel's Ghost live stream, and you know what? I deserve to have my bottom smacked. He was right. So Rob Walker, thank you for organizing this year's tag. I sincerely appreciate it. I think you subscribe to my channel too. If not, what are you waiting for, Rob? Come on, I need to build up that UK audience. Teach me, I'm a wanker. Teach me what I need to know. But anyway, thanks for organizing this, Rob. Buddies, tell me in the comments below what you think of this video and the vinyl tag as a whole. That's all I got. So until next time. Oh, hey, by the way, again, giving away this book. If you would like it, hit me up. Happy to send it to you. First one in gets it. US only, sorry. Media mail, sorry. But anyway, buddies, when you get the chance to listen to a record on this list or your own list or any list in 2023, just spin it. Catch you later.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
Well, we out of time.